Yo, welcome back to the channel. And just gonna jump right into it. Actually, before I do that, I'm actually gonna explain kind of this screen recording that I did this time for this drawing. So I tried to screen record this, and for some reason, I don't know why, but my iPad is acting up. So what's happening is that whenever I'm screen recording, it will screen record, but it'll like skip through. And I'm not sure quite yet how to fix that. I'm not sure if I need to like reset my iPad or, you know, whatever it may be, and maybe I need to close applications in the background that I have open, but it wasn't affecting it before, but for some reason now it is. So, but yeah, I got figured out. So this time what I did is that I just slowed down the time lapse that always records for my Procreate. So I slowed it down all the way to about like, I think it's like 3% of what the normal is, because with the time lapse it's like it's less than 30 seconds on this particular drawing. And so yeah, I just extended that 30 seconds into 14 minutes here, it looks like. So yeah, so hopefully it'll be better. Also what I did is that I added like the my reference to the left here, so at least you know when I'm drawing. But yeah, so that's you'll see here. Again, I'm just gonna sketch and then paint it. And also this painting, it didn't come out all that great, at least not in my opinion. It looks like, I don't know if I only give myself a certain amount of time, because I try not to dwell too much on my drawings and all that, because I'm just practicing. Like I just want to get the cadence of drawing and all that. And then, later on, once I get done with this Pokemon challenge, then I'll start actually taking some time and actually slowing down and doing what I need to do. But and maybe I'll talk about that in another video about like slowing down and trying to create content as an artist and all that compared to like what artistry is. I have that kind of in my notes for me to make a video on that. But today's video, it's gonna be about being yourself, and kind of my struggle with being myself. And even to this day, I still struggle with it, because I think we all have an innate like sense of wanting to belong and wanting to be liked by other people and wanting to be accepted by other people. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's a bad thing once you try to overdo it, which I've done that before as well. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about just being myself. So for me, I think I kind of made a video on this before. I'm pretty sure I did, kind of about self-love and all that. But yeah, it does come back to self-love also, just being yourself. Because being yourself, honestly, people say it and people make it seem like it's an easy thing to do. But I guess with my personality and with my tendencies, it was hard for me to do for a long time. And now I'm more myself now than I used to be, but I'm still not quite 100% authentic when it comes to like being in front of people. And I don't mean like I lie to people and stuff like that all the time. What I mean is that just my demeanor, because there's a certain level of comfortability that I gotta have with people before I'm actually fully myself around them. Like even around my family, like whenever I get around them, I'm not completely myself. And partially maybe it's because I don't feel like I can be. Maybe I'm insecure. Maybe that's something I got to work on. And part of it is that I just don't think that they'll accept me for who I really am. And because it sounds bad and it sounds sad, but it's not it's not as bad or sad as I'm making it out to be, or as it sounds. But yeah, I think with being myself, because like for example, right, like when I was I guess I kind of gave this example before, but I know like in high school, right, high school I was scared of being smart, because I was afraid I would get teased and all that. And I knew a lot of things, and I knew, like I love like math and science, right? Those are my two like favorite subjects. science first and then math second. But I was scared to show people that I was, that I was interested in that, and that I was good at it. So I would just be a goofball and be the class clown all the time and make jokes, and they say that you know humor is a sign of intelligence because you got to be able to pick up on cadences and be able to pick up on like um people's mannerisms and all that, and I'm good at that as well. I'm good at picking up on people that are uncomfortable or don't find something entertaining, or I'm real good at reading that type of behavior. So, and that comes with a certain level of intelligence. And this is not to, by the way, this is not to try to make it seem like I'm the most like intelligent person ever, because I'm not, obviously. But I feel like I need to give that disclaimer because it sounds so pretentious whenever I'm saying this, so self-indulging whenever I'm saying this about myself. But it's just something that I pick up on. I'm good at picking up on people and their, I'm good at implementing empathy, and it took me a long time to be able to implement it and to show empathy towards others, because for a long time I didn't give a damn about people, honestly. Like, I really didn't care what people thought about, or what not what people thought about me, but just what people I didn't care about people's feelings, if that makes sense. So then I overcorrected and I became too sensitive for people's needs and all that. And there's a balance with everything in life. So that's something that I had to figure out. And it's something that even to this day, I still struggle with it to a certain extent, where I'm still trying to find a balance of, being selfish, but also being able to like empathize with people, because it takes a level of balance. Because of course you want to put your own happiness first, but then you also want to put people's feelings, in front of you. And for a long time, what I did, I put I put other people's feelings in front of my own, and it was chaotic to say the least. I would say, yeah, definitely chaotic. Definitely something that I didn't like at all. So I didn't feel good putting people first, so I had to learn to put myself first. And yeah, it's still a learning process for sure. But as you can see, for some reason when I'm drawing here, I don't know why, but yeah, I don't know why I didn't like this drawing. I know I'm kind of going off subject of what I'm talking about, being yourself, but for some reason I just did not like this drawing. And I know it looks, honestly, it looks like a 12-year-old did it. Like it looks like a kid did it. But I'm no expert in drawing. I just like doing it. So I give myself a lot of leeway when it comes to drawing and all that. Of course, I want to get good at it, but I'm not too hard on myself. I like having fun with it, and I like just doing it to do it. But yeah. So kind of getting back to being yourself. Yeah. So if there's anything I guess I can instill upon others, is that being yourself is easier said than done for some people. For other people, people don't get, there are some people that just don't care, and they're authentically themselves. And which is great. I think everybody should be able to be themselves and be comfortable, and also I've been reading a book by Malcolm Gladwell. Or I shouldn't say reading. I've been listening to an audiobook by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. And he talks about kind of the psychology of people who are considered to be successful in life. People that make a lot of money, or people that are smart, or whatever it may be. But yeah, one of the things he mentions, the reason why I bring that up, is that he brings up the fact that your environment when you're growing up tends to determine whether you're going to be one of these outliers or be successful in life. And for me, and for from my particular family. It was nurturing, it was good, but I had restrictions. I was afraid to do certain stuff, and it made me retreat into a shell for a long time. And even to this day, like, from the way I was raised, it made me into an introvert like I am now. So, and maybe it's just a personality, and maybe it has nothing to do with my environment, and maybe I'm just naturally like that. But I know for sure I'm an introvert. I don't like putting myself out there, and every YouTube video I make is me getting outside my comfort zone, because I don't like talking. I don't like putting myself out there. I don't even like, honestly, showing my art, but I'm forcing myself to do it because I like to, I like to share, and I want to get out of my comfort zone, because what they say, that being in your comfort zone is like being in a chamber. It's like being in a prison. So that's something that I don't want to do, and it's a struggle every time, and not a big struggle, honestly. It's just a struggle. It's nothing like, it's nothing major, but it does go against my own natural instinct. So, but so that's something that I'm still learning. Yeah, a lot of ums and ahs today. I've been noticing that, by the way. Sometimes I'll listen back to my videos and all that, and I'll hear myself saying ums and ahs and ands and buts and so's and all that, all the fillers, and also, and all that is one of those fillers. so yeah, see what I mean. So I'm trying to learn how to speak more clearly and not be so timid in my approach when it comes to speaking. So yeah, I'm learning to get better at public speaking. I think one of the things I'm going to implement is just pausing, because I was watching a was it a podcast? Maybe it was a clip on Instagram. I forget. But there was a guy. He was talking about how when you're speaking out loud, one of the things that people forget to do is that they forget to just pause. Because they're doing it again. See, I'm trying to implement it as I'm talking about it, but it's hard. So he was talking about just pausing and not saying anything, and it's a hard thing to do because people are it's a learned thing. So when you're doing it, and like I'm trying to do it right now, it's so damn hard to do it, to try to just pause instead of trying to fill it with some noise, or some clicking or clacking on my lips, or smacking on my lips and all that. And yeah, so I'm trying to learn it right now as I'm speaking about it. And yeah, so anyways, in the podcast, he was talking about how just pausing, people are uncomfortable with pauses for some reason. So that's why there's all these fillers and all that. But yeah, so forgive me for using all these sentence fillers and all that, because it's part of my vocabulary that I need to work on, or my cadence, I guess. Not really in vocabulary, just cadence. So yeah, so being yourself, harder than just saying it. At least for me, it is. I know there are some people that are like me, that live in their head, and they think that anytime they have a interaction with a human being, they overanalyze it after they leave that situation. I do it all the time, where I'll be in front of somebody, I'll talk to them or whatever, and then 5 days later, a day later, that same day, whatever it may be, I'll think about that for the rest of the day. But yeah, looks like I'm done with the drawing, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. So be yourself. Easier said than done, trust me, at least for me. And hopefully people will accept you for who you are. If they don't, you can move on, and be yourself around some other people, because not everybody is going to accept you, unfortunately. That's the way the world works. But other than that, have a good day, and I will talk to y'all later.